All right, folks, I think I messed up. I think that I might have sold way too soon on my Zbec bag. That's right, the ticker ZBCN that we started talking about last month. I'm worried that I treated this one like a meme coin trade versus a utility asset that I should have just accumulated some. You know, if I wanted to pull out my initial okay, but I'm a little bit worried that I sold off too much Zbec on this most recent rally. And I'm going to break down that trade along with the current setup coming up for this week. Bitcoin Las Vegas, the warm up to the main show, XRP Las Vegas, here at the end of the week. I can't wait to see you guys in person. And I'm just, really glad to see so many of our community members got in on this most recent call for Zbec last month. And I'm seeing reports of 100%, 200, 300, 400% profit on this trade. And the only thing I'm worried about is that I sold off too soon. Let's break it down for you guys. Over the weekend, President Trump agreeing to delay the 50% tariffs on the EU until July 9th. Apparently, the negotiators from the EU are going to take this a little bit more serious now. They're ready to come to the table, get a deal done. And so President Trump has a few things here left to work with to avoid this bond market blowing up further. And that was the trade and the tariff talks, right? Puts out the tariffs, stock market comes back down, and the bonds didn't really respond too well either. So that wasn't enough. As I said in one of my most recent updates, it's not going to be enough for President Trump to just put out tweets about trade and tariffs escalating. That's not going to be enough to bring the bond market back down. We really are going to have to see something break. And so we have the tariff talks. We have World War III front. We're praying for peace. We don't want it to play out like that. We don't want the aliens to come back down. That's another scenario. And then the other solution would be stablecoin legislation, which would unlock $2 trillion of demand for US dollar stablecoins. That's another way to save the bond market. The real issue right now is that despite everything going on and what President Trump and Scott Bessent are doing, those bond yields keep rising. The interest rates keep going up. And when you literally have trillions and trillions of bonds that need to be rolled over, of debt that needs to be restructured, commercial, residential real estate, all of it needs to be rolled over this year, and rates have only gone up from where they were, these loans and deals were originally done at, it is a serious problem. All leads back to the debt, currency, and liquidity crisis. We better find a solution quick. Maybe XRP might be able to help out with that as well. We'll talk more on that later. Florida proposes abolishing state capital gains tax on Bitcoin, XRP, and stocks. Now, what's interesting about this bill is they specifically cite Bitcoin and XRP, and then they go on to say stocks as well. But they wanted to give you a couple examples, and they chose Bitcoin, and they chose XRP as well. Now, it'll be interesting to watch the mainstream Bitcoin news try to spin this one and say that this is only, capital gains, no tax on capital gains on Bitcoin, right? Because that's typically what they do with the Bitcoin strategic reserves. There'll be reserves for all cryptos, but they'll say, no, this is just a Bitcoin strategic reserve. And then you print out the bill and you read it off and you go, wait, no, this says any and all cryptos that meet these thresholds could be added to the reserve. Yet the Bitcoin bros just try to run with these stories and spin this. We'll see how they try to spin this one, but hey, shout out to Florida for getting that deal done. I live in a state that's moving backwards. We have no state income tax here in Washington, but now they've introduced a capital gains tax. But they tell us little peasants, don't worry, you little peasants. It's only on the rich. And for those that make over $250,000 capital gains tax. It's an absolute joke, and they're doing everything they can to push wealth and common sense out of my state. And that's why I'm in the process of setting up entities and moving my wealth and assets out of this state. Despite me living here physically, my assets ain't going to be living here for much longer. I'll tell you that much. Continuing on, though, Conor McGregor. Quick point, too. The states are going to force the hands of the feds when it comes to making gold and silver legal tender, when it comes to even making crypto legal tender, right? When you basically remove the capital gains tax and make no tax on crypto, it essentially is making it legal tender, where you can start to use it as currency, not have to worry about paying any tax on it. And so this is beautiful to see. This is, why we love our country so much. And I should say, happy Memorial Day to everybody as well, too. I know I took yesterday off, spending time with the family and friends. And today I'm about to be going to a Memorial Day service. And we're going to go honor those that, paid the ultimate sacrifice for our country. God bless them. And so I am going to be doing that. But it was interesting to watch the market responding over the weekend. Nobody else could respond to President Trump saying they were going to delay tariffs because the stock market was shut down, right? But this is why I love crypto 24/7, 365. We don't stop moving. But let's continue to watch this further because the state's forcing the hand of the feds. And hopefully, like President Trump said, eventually we'll just remove capital gains tax on cryptos across the country. That's the direction that we want to see it go, right? More on that later. Conor McGregor showing up to the party. He says, I have learned from the events this week that not all blockchains are actually decentralized. A lot of people are telling me that Bitcoin and ETH are the only truly decentralized networks. Well, Conor, they would be lying to you. One, about how decentralized Bitcoin and Ethereum are, and two, that XRP is not decentralized. I'm not going to comment on Solana and Cardano, but I can comment on XRP. Yeah, he says, but the US government are going to buy XRP, Solana, and Cardano. Give me your thoughts. And he shares out the famous tweet right here from President Trump. Yes, we are going to be adding XRP, Solana, and Cardano to our crypto strategic reserve. And I've been saying until we see something different from President Trump, I will take his words over the fake news media that tries to spin up and drum up fake news narratives, that tries to undermine this administration. Until I hear something different from President Trump, I'm just going to assume that this is still the plan, to add XRP and a couple other crap coins like Solana and Cardano. Just kidding. I know you guys like some of these other coins. That's okay. But we are going to be adding XRP to the strategic reserve. Now, this is all part of the XRP go viral moment that I've been talking about. More and more people asking questions. And this is what we love to see, the XRP community showing up and just lighting up the comment section under Conor McGregor's post, educating him, enlightening him on the truth about XRP. This is a team effort. And I want to commend everybody that's been sharing the good word about XRP, dispelling the myths and the lies about XRP that have perpetuated across this crypto space for so long, way too long, that this has gone on. And so we're helping the likes of Conor McGregor. We're helping our friends and family, those around us. I commend you for doing your part to share the truth about XRP. We got to be in this together. This is what we're up against right here. Check this out. This is Gabriel Shapiro begging the CEO, Jeremy Allaire of Circle, not to sell to Ripple. Begging. This is how scared they are. Right? If Ripple and XRP was just some centralized banker scam coin, wasn't going to be used, it was just a gas token that was worthless, what are they so worried about? Why are they so scared? The Bitcoin bros coming out of the woodworks. You got this, he's a crypto attorney. I never heard of this guy, right? Some random PFP crypto attorney bro. And why is he crying? Why we have grown men crying over Ripple and XRP, begging Jeremy Allaire, don't sell Circle over to Ripple. And what's the alternative? Sell it to Coinbase? Make our ecosystem even more centralized? I mean, we see the issues that Coinbase is going through. How about we do allow the most transparent company in the cryptocurrency space, Ripple, to acquire Circle and maybe save Circle? I think Circle's actually, I think that Circle has a solid business while rates are up this high. We'll see how well Circle does when rates come back down, right? That's going to be interesting to see. But this is just hilarious to me. If Ripple and XRP weren't serious, weren't a threat, what are we so worried about? Why are grown men crying about this? You must not sell to Ripple. They will use the power it gives them over every DeFi protocol and every competitive blockchain for evil. Ripple's evil, guys. Oh my goodness. If a definitive agreement is signed, we will be at the DOJ's and FTC's doorsteps, citing Ripple's history of campaigns against Bitcoin and Ethereum to show their anti-competitive character and to demonstrate that an acquisition of Circle by Ripple would be a disastrous for the crypto industry and violates core antitrust principles. Now, it is unequivocally false that Ripple has been attacking Bitcoin and Ethereum when literally Brad Garlinghouse just put out the Crypto in 1 Minute post last week, citing the crypto ETFs, how great they were for institutions. And he cited the Bitcoin ETF and the success that they've had. They own Bitcoin. Never have we tried to go against Bitcoin. We've pointed out some of the flaws. We've showed how we've improved on Bitcoin. We showed how Bitcoin could be tokenized on the XRP ledger. We're trying to help Bitcoin. We're trying to lift up the entire space. And this is why I would love, and I don't think that they will, because I think that they're going to be the bigger man. I think that they're going to play nice. But I got to tell you personally, I would love to see Ripple, Brad, and the team with their legal assassins absolutely make an example out of some of these clowns that have slandered the names of Brad, the executives, and the team at Ripple. I would love nothing more than to see the legal assassins absolutely destroy some of these clowns that have decided to slander Brad and the team. Because remember, this is not just saying, oh, this is a crap coin. Oh, XRP is worthless. No, they're trying to say that Brad has committed fraud. They're saying all of, and this is the definition of defamation and slandering. And Ripple has everything that they need to absolutely wreck some of these guys. And I wish that they would make an example out of a couple of these clowns. Little anonymous PFPs talking about Ripple being evil. Why don't you show your face before you run your mouth? These guys are an absolute joke. And they make a joke of the entire industry. Who do we want running this space? Anonymous PFPs? Or do we want people that have put their face out here for more than a decade, moving the industry forward, lifting up every single, participant within this ecosystem by advocating for our entire industry, putting a check behind it too, that none of these other little crypto companies have. You ain't in the room. You don't got that check. It ain't cashing when you write that one out. $50 million to have one of the most successful election campaigns in our history of our country. And these guys want to call Ripple evil and cowardly, hide behind their PFPs. Absolute joke. Doesn't matter what they say, doesn't matter how much they cry, because they're not going to be able to stop what's taking place. And that's Ripple working with governments, central banks, and institutions around the world. Why? Because the XRP ledger has been selected as the blockchain of choice thanks to its decade-long reliability and stability in tokenizing and exchanging digital and real-world assets. Nothing can stop what is coming. Not these little crypto kids crying, not some of these other big companies that have tried to attack us, ETHgate and everything. Nothing can stop what is coming. And that is XRP flipping Ethereum and the DeFi ecosystem within the XRP ledger absolutely exploding this year. And, oh boy, if Ripple does end up acquiring Circle, it is game over. They will have a monopoly. Will they be breaking antitrust laws? No, there is not a case there. Try them. Ripple has the money to fight. Do you? I'm calling out the people that want to, throw these terms around here. These little anonymous crypto attorneys. We're going to be at the FTC. Show up. Let's see how deep your pockets are. And let's see if you're on the right side of the law. You know who I got my money on. They don't got the money. No. I don't know why I'm getting so heated up today, but it's Monday. And I just love the position that we're in. Ripple XRP community. God bless all of you guys. I'm telling you, I'm about to play this next clip. We're working with government, central banks, and institutions. That's what we have to report on. What does the Bitcoin community have to share? Oh, another delusional, legendary investor who's going to throw more money and top blast the Bitcoin chart, right? Michael Saylor, this guy right here, Hugh Hendry, who says he's going to sell off his house to buy another 10 million of Bitcoin. That's all you have in the Bitcoin community is the perpetuation of a Ponzi scheme. Oh, yeah, me and my friends, we're going to sell off our house to go buy more Bitcoin. Michael Saylor says if you're not top blasting the Bitcoin chart, you're leaving money on the table. That's what the Bitcoin community has to report on. What do they have to talk about at the Bitcoin conference? All hanging out, Circle, you know what? Oh, yeah, I sold my house to buy more Bitcoin. Oh, yeah, I did this to buy more Bitcoin. What do they have to report on at Bitcoin Las Vegas this week? Any new sales pitch for the Ponzi scheme? Now, I question Hugh. He says that his house, he'll be able to get 30 million. Well, One, I'd like to see you fetch 30 million for your house. I've never seen this house. I just know that there's a lot of people who think they can get a certain amount for their house in this current market, this current real estate market. They think that they can get what Zillow's putting up there on that Zestimate. One, I'd like to see you close for that 30 million that he says he can get. And two, why the hell are we top blasting the Bitcoin chart? These guys think it's so inevitable that it's going to $1 million. They think it's so inevitable. And I'll tell you right now, if Bitcoin's going to $1 million, I got some coins in my bag that are far going to outpace that 10x that we're talking about for Bitcoin. From 100,000 to $1 million, that's great. God bless you guys. I hope. Go sell more of your property to go buy Bitcoin to go catch a 10 bagger. Because if you're making a 10 bagger on Bitcoin, I promise you, we're making 20 and 50x and 100x returns on some of our utility coins. Guaranteed. Have fun. We're already outpacing you 10x since the Trump election. You're up 60% on Bitcoin since the election. We went up 589% since the election. We're still up. Even after coming back down, we're still up 350% plus. We are destroying the returns of Bitcoin since the election. So sure, go sell some more property to buy Bitcoin. Good luck. Take a listen. These guys are delusional.
It's just performed really, really well in a risk-off episode. I'm thinking of selling this house. I could sell this for 35 million. I want to get 10 million into Bitcoin because I think this is your last chance. It's going to trade closer to $1 million. It's going to trade at a capitalization greater to gold. And when it trades at $1 million, Bitcoin is boring. It's gold. But it's not. Bitcoin is so...
Now, God bless them. Do what you want to do. And the problem is they all think that it's inevitably going to the market cap of gold. What they don't account for is the utility that gold actually has. There is no utility with Bitcoin. Why would an asset that's a store of value go up to the value of something that's a store of value with real world utility that has a track record of thousands of years, not just a decade? But hey, you want to make that bet? Good luck. God bless. I hope it works out for you. Good luck fetching 30 million for your house too. Good luck. Yeah. We'll see how it goes. Peter Brandt. All these guys want our help. Let's help them out, guys. He says, should I buy 100,000 of XRP or Solana this week? No other option, but only one of these two, please. Which one? State your case. There you go. What do you guys think? XRP or Solana? Make your bet. How have we done since the election? Absolutely destroyed all of these. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, all of them have been destroyed by XRP and even more so by some of our other utility coins. Remember, HBAR did a full swing of 800%. XLM did a full swing of 600%. So it's not just our XRP bag that's outperforming, it's the rest of our utility bag as well. Quick market update to finish off this episode. Bitcoin back up above 110,000 here this morning. Let's see. I got this vertical line right here because we're on Tuesday, May 27th. Tomorrow is when the Bitcoin conference starts. Now, remember what I said last year, after the Bitcoin conference, 2 days after, Bitcoin topped out at 70,000 and then it collapsed by 30%. So these guys can go to Bitcoin Las Vegas. They can talk about selling houses and girlfriends and, well, they don't have girlfriends. They have to rent those too. But they can talk about selling all their property to keep the Ponzi scheme going. That's fantastic. But I think that they're all suffering from short-term memory loss because they forget what happened last year and what's about to happen again. And I'm not saying it's going to be a 30% drop, but we're going to see a pullback. And I am going to be trying to short that, by the way, full disclosure. Okay. Now, for XRP, I'm looking for one more pop-up. Same thing for Bitcoin. One more pop-up during the conference. XRP should follow. And so here we got Bitcoin. We'll see if it can go up to, right here where I was going to set my short at, right below 113,000. That's where I have it lined up. Let's go to XRP. We're going back into my purple box one more time. That's 250 to 270. That's what I'm looking to take profit on my XRP long. Okay? But guys, as I titled this episode here today, this has been amazing to watch. Last month, we called out Zbec, ZBCN. I told you it wasn't just a meme coin. I told you about the utility, and then my dumb self traded it like a meme coin. Now, making money is making money, and I'm not going to complain. I was able to capture 427% profit on this trade. Take a look at the chart. This is when I got in back here. I made my first video April 16th right here. I kicked myself for not buying this dip. I could have made a lot more if I doubled down on the dip, but I didn't. So we did our first video, and then I did my deep dive here on April 26th. After that, the rest is history. 427% profit has been captured by myself. I'm seeing people in our community reporting 100%, 200, 300%, 400% plus profit on this trade. God bless you guys. And I think that I messed up because I think I sold too soon. In my deep dive, I said that my first level was half a penny, and I think that it could easily go up to a penny, this bull run. Well, it did, and it happened way faster. And the momentum behind this thing is a lot more than I anticipated. And so I underestimated this project, this community, and the traction that it would gain. And so I hope for all of you guys that are holding this coin, that you're going to be able to see this coin still go up another few multiples. And you're going to all be able to come back and tell me how stupid I was for selling some of my Zbec too early. Okay? So I'm looking, I might get back in on this one. But hey, this is how we play it. This is how we play it. We're not waiting around for alt season. We're finding motion. That's momentum. We're front running the liquidity. And I'm expecting to do this the rest of this alt season, the rest of this bull run, I meant to say. So stick around with us. We got a lot more coming. And so I'm really looking forward to this week. It's going to be a volatile one. Stay tight. Stay right in here with us by subscribing, hitting that notification bell. We're going to be going and covering XRP Las Vegas, Bitcoin conference to warm it up. And we got a couple trades that we're still in the middle of. So stay tuned for more. I appreciate all of you guys. Have a blessed Memorial Day. Thank you for all that made that ultimate sacrifice for our country. And let's continue to put up the good fight in honor of all of those. Appreciate you guys, and we'll see you in the next one. God bless. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.